Do you find yourself stuck in a rut when it comes to chord progressions? In this video, I'll be introducing the harmonic minor scale and its unique set of chords that can add a new level of tension and resolution to your music. The major scale, also known as the Ionian mode, has 7 notes. If I label each note with a number, you get the scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. It doesn't matter what the tonic note of the major scale is, it always has the scale degrees 1 to 7. For example, C major has the notes C, D, E, F, G, A and B with the 7 scale degrees I mentioned. The major scale is useful as a point of reference for all other scales or modes. For example, the natural minor scale or Aeolian mode has the scale degrees 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6 and flat 7. The flat scale degrees are half a step or a semitone below the major scale degrees. So the C natural minor scale has the notes C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat and B flat. When people refer to simply the minor scale, they are often really talking about the natural minor scale. But there are actually 3 minor scales. This can become a bit confusing, but don't panic. The focus of this video is the harmonic minor scale. I'll explain what it is, the chords that can be created with it, and explain the differences and similarities with the natural minor scale. By the end of this video, you should be able to confidently use the harmonic minor scale to create new and interesting chord progressions. Let's begin. The harmonic minor scale has the scale degrees 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6 and 7. So the C harmonic minor scale has the notes C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat and B. If you remember the natural minor or Aeolian scale I showed you earlier, it only has one note of difference with the harmonic minor scale. The 7th note, also known as the leading note, has been raised by a semitone or half a step. For this reason, you may see the harmonic minor scale referred to as the Aeolian sharp 7 scale or Aeolian with a natural 7th. The harmonic minor scale is known for its distinctive and exotic sound, which is partially due to the fact that it creates a minor third / augmented second interval between the 6th and 7th degrees by raising the 7th degree by half a step / semitone. This interval, which is not found in the major scale or its modes, creates a large gap between the 6th and 7th degrees and gives the harmonic minor scale its unique character. The harmonic minor scale is used in a variety of musical styles, including jazz, metal and surf rock, and is particularly popular in neoclassical metal. The harmonic minor scale is named after its ability to provide strong harmony in a minor key. The raised 7th scale degree in the harmonic minor scale allows for dominant chords to be formed, and the raised 7th has a tendency to resolve by moving up a step to the tonic. It is worth noting that harmonic minor isn't strictly a key, and is more of a theoretical construct. There is only a key signature for the natural minor, and when the harmonic minor scale is used, it is represented with a sharpened 7th note as discussed. Despite this, I am now going to use the harmonic minor scale to construct a set of chords and use them like a key. If this seems confusing or contradictory, don't worry about it. Just listen to how the chords sound and decide if this is a sound you'd like to experiment with in your own songwriting. I'll use the C harmonic minor scale I showed you earlier to build some chords. The most basic chords are constructed with 3 notes and are called triads. They will be either major, minor, diminished or augmented. C harmonic minor has the notes C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat and B. If you take the first note C, skip a note to E flat, and then skip a note again to G, you have a set of 3 notes. These 3 notes create a C minor triad. This is labelled with a lowercase 1 Roman numeral and becomes your first chord. You then repeat the process for each of the notes in the scale. So the second chord would have its first note as D, then include F and finally A flat. D, F and A flat are the notes in the D diminished triad. This is your second chord. You can then repeat this process for each note of the scale to produce a set of 7 chords. I have repeated the notes in the scale twice here to make it easier to visualise. So the set of 7 chords for the C harmonic minor scale is 1 C minor, 2 D diminished, 3 E flat augmented, 4 F minor, 5 G major, 6 A flat major and 7 B diminished. It is worth comparing this set of chords with the natural minor key. You know that there is only one note difference between the scales. The result of this is a change in 3 of the chords. The 3 chord is a major chord, the 5 chord is a minor chord, and the 7 chord is a major chord in natural minor. So for C natural minor, the chords that are different would be E flat major, G minor, and B flat major. These differences will be important in defining the harmonic minor sound. I'll show you some examples now using HookPad. There's a link in the description if you want to get HookPad and follow along. The easiest way to get started with the harmonic minor chords is to only use the minor and major chords. That is chords 1, 4, 5 and 6. Here's an example progression, but feel free to experiment with them in any order that you like. It is common to end harmonic minor chord progressions with the 5 chord. When the 1 chord is played after this, then it is known as a perfect cadence. This is because the strong desire for the dominant 5 chord to resolve to the 1 chord creates a pleasing sense of resolution when it is heard. This feature of the major 5 chord is heard in major keys when moving from the 5 to 1 chords. And you may have also heard it in natural minor or Aeolian progressions. This is a really common borrowed chord to the extent that it is considered an integral part of minor key songs. This blurring of lines is common with the 3 minor scales and minor key chord progressions. It can lead to confusion, but for now just know that the major 5 chord is used in minor key songs to create a strong pullback to the 1 tonic chord. You will often see the 5 chord played as a dominant 7th chord. This further intensifies the pullback to the tonic 1 chord. I'll use it in some of the progressions in the rest of this video. I've discussed the 7th note in the harmonic minor scale and how it creates a distinctive exotic sound. I'll now target some of the chords it is used in to really emphasise this unique sound. Let's start by looking at the 3 chord. It is an augmented chord. Augmented chords have an uncomfortable tension to them. They are neither major nor minor and have a strange awkwardness. Because of this, they are most often used as passing chords, leading the listener somewhere else. If you want to learn more about augmented chords, then check out my video in the description. In this example, I will follow the 3 chord with the 4 chord. The 3 chord E flat augmented contains the 7th note B I showed you earlier. It also has G and E flat notes. The 4 chord F minor has the notes F, A flat and C. Because 2 of these notes in the F minor chord are only half a step or semitone away from 2 of the notes in the E flat augmented chord, it provides a satisfying resolution for the passing 3 chord. The other chord that has the 7th note in it is the 7 diminished chord. Diminished chords have a harsh, discordant sound, and like augmented chords are more often used in passing. Watch my diminished video in the description to learn more. In this next example, I'll show you all of the chords that have the 7th note in them. Listen to how moving from the 7 diminished to the 3 augmented chord creates an interesting tension and movement. This progression never really feels settled until it returns to the 1 chord and the major 5 chord. Experiment with diminished and augmented chords in your own progressions if you want to create some interesting movement. You can also use the 2 diminished chord in a similar way to create interest, tension and movement. For example, So far I've only used standard triads in the examples, except for the dominant 7th 5 chord, but you can of course use any chord types that you like. This can take many forms, but an interesting place to start with is by introducing the 7th note to some other chords. If you add this 7th note to the 1 chord, then this gives you an interesting tense chord called the minor major 7th. Watch my video in the description to learn more about this and the standard minor 7th chord. The minor major 7th works well when paired with the standard 1 chord. This contrasts the tension and provides resolution. It also sounds pleasing when followed with other chords that have the 7th note in them. Listen to how this complements the other tense augmented and diminished chords I've shown you in the following chord progression. Here's another example with the minor major 7th. Note how it doesn't start on the 1 chord and incorporates several different 7th chord types. Listen to the smooth dramatic nature this brings to the progression, masking the plain tonic 1 chord until the final 2 bars. You've seen several ways in which chord progressions can use the harmonic minor scale to bring an interesting edge to them, but how would you go about using this in an entire song? The following song will use chords and ideas discussed throughout this video to create an exotic and tense sound. It has a basic structure of intro, verse, chorus. See if you can spot where the ideas for each section come from. It will also introduce some chord inversions to add interest to the bass lines. There's a video with help about these in the description. Experiment with the concepts in this video to create your own harmonic minor song ideas. Let me know in the comments how they turn out. The Aeolian mode is fundamental to understanding the harmonic minor. Watch the video on screen for a deep dive into this and all of the other modes of the major scale.